Hello, my little champs. Hey, what's going on? It's Sean here. And today I want to do a really special extra bonus for you guys on how I built a fan page of 25,779 people as of today, and how that actually generated 6,224 emails. And it did it really cheap, and it did it on $10 a day. Okay, so I just want to show you what you're looking at right here. This is a fan page for my very first copywriting client, Anderson Bat Company. So a little bit of background about them. They're based here in Orange County, in Anaheim, right? You know, same area where Disneyland is, and they make bats for kind of elite baseball players and softball players. Now, when I was invited to help with their marketing, they were really struggling. They had just dropped like $500,000 on a new bat production, and it just about broke them. They just overspent. There was a lot of things they just didn't have control over. And at the time when I took over, they had an email list of about 1,273 people, and they were just past buyers over the last, at the time, 16 years. And this, you'll see this right here, is they have 25,779 fans. When I took over, they had 173. Exactly. I just remember that. I had it screenshotted on an old computer. So what I want to show you is how this came to be, how every time they post something, this happens. 488 shares, 327 likes, comments, galore. Let me get that out of the way. And how it was just done on $10 a day. Because when I took over, all they could give me was $10 a day. It was, and I had to make $1.5 million, which happened. It did happen in their busy season. They made $1.5 million, which they were really happy, and I kept them for a couple of years. So the process that I used was this. Is the first thing we did is I ran a $5 a day like campaign. All I was trying to do is just figure out how to get in front of people as cheaply and as and effectively as possible. But what I didn't realize at the time is when you do that, your ads and your posts, despite all the organic reach being slashed and hacked and everything, is doubled. So your fans and friends of your fans are twice as likely to see your content, including ads, as someone who has never met you before. And of course, if you think about it, everyone buys from people that they know, like, and trust. So the easiest way to start a relationship with somebody, and this is what the like campaign effectively is to shake their hand and say hello. So let me show you a couple numbers here. And let me make sure that I've got the right, yes, okay, here we go. This is the first like campaign that I ran for these guys. And what you'll see, is 5 cents a result. That was 5 cents a like. 1,647 fans. Now these are targeted fans. These aren't like, pay, $1,000, I'll get you 100,000 fans. These are actually people that were males, that were parents, 35 to 54, were interested in baseball or softball, maybe even coached. And I'll show you how to build that profile. I didn't just do it for this page, though. I did it for a baseball glove client. I did it for golf. I did it for natural supplements. And what happens is there's a cascading effect when you do this. Is once you start this process, it builds. Like, more people see your ads, they get cheaper. When you go to get the email list built, that gets cheaper too. So the first thing we're going to do right here is I'm going to show you how to start a like campaign. And what you're seeing here is one I just started. This is for a golf page. Now, it may look not all that impressive, 52 cents cost per result, 4 likes. But when you start these campaigns, and I remember watching a training, it was called Marketing with Don. He talked about this. The first thing that I look at is just, the click-through rate or result rate. If you get anything above 2%, you're going to have a pretty successful campaign. What Facebook does is they'll chew up like half of your budget, and that's why you only start with, like, say, $5, maybe $10 at the most, and then they'll start optimizing it. And eventually, there's days with Anderson Bat and some others, Legion baseball gloves, where we're getting likes for like a penny. It was ridiculous. So let's go ahead and start a like campaign now, and I'm going to do it for, let's see, we're going to go promote your page. Let's see which one I want to do this for. Continue. Okay, let's try this. We'll do a little test against what I'm doing now for my golf page. So I have this page called 5 Minute Golf. Bam. Okay. Now I'm going to forego doing a custom audience. I'm going to assume that you don't have much of an email list. You don't have much website traffic. We're going to build this thing from scratch. Okay. And I'm just going to focus in the United States. Now my target market is generally men. They're, you know, most of them are in their senior years, but I get actually quite a bit of interaction from people that are like 35 and up. 65 and older, you know, it seems to tap out about 65. So we'll just leave it. That's fine. What you want to do is English, because I kind of want them to understand what it is I'm talking about. Obviously, we're going to get rid of this stuff. It doesn't apply, except Golf Channel applies. Now, what you're going to want to do when you start is you want to go very broad and then get more specific, okay? And I try to throw in as much information as I can to help Facebook target the right people. So we'll start with golf. You're interested in golf? Great. You know, are they, you know, then what you'll see is this kind of makes it easier. When I started doing this, this didn't really work all that well. But when you put in a term, it'll say suggested. So fine, let's just click, click, click. And then what you're going to see is you're going to start helping, especially magazines. This is really key. Magazines, figure, you know, like public figures that these people, your people might follow. Websites, these are all good. LPGA, unfortunately, they don't really follow. Titleist is a really popular golf ball and piece of equipment. So is Callaway, TaylorMade. I'm a pin guy, so yep. Cobra, Adam, you know, Cleveland. I mean, it goes on and on and on. But what you're doing is it'll say that your selection is fairly broad. So you can, you know, you usually want to at least have something in the 6-figure range in terms of, you know, at least like, you know, 100,000 or more. I would say probably like 300,000 more when you do this, at least when I've done it. Now, other things that I'll add in, I always try to see avid golfer is one thing, so it's not much, but it's worth putting in. You know, do they belong to a country club? Yep, they sure, you know, there's an interest in it. So I like to pick a few, you know, even though I'm not really playing. You know, I pick a few figures because I just find this to be very helpful. Jordan Spieth doesn't seem to be coming up, but I know I've tried this guy. Bubba, let's see if it'll let me do it. Watson. Yep. Boom. He's a real popular golfer. You know, I might try Rory McIlroy. Yep. Oh, perfect. That's even better if there's an official one. Ricky Fowler is another popular golfer. And so that's probably good. So I'll reach a pretty large amount of people. So we're good with that. Now, you could leave all these. That's fine. I don't get too crazy with that. Don't do $25. Just start with 5. Okay? Make Facebook earn your money. All right? Because what will happen is the lower amount you spend, the more they're going to try to optimize it. And there's ways to scale this up without, you know, killing your performance. And I'll tell you about that in a minute. So we'll know we'll get about 530 to 1,400 people. Let's just continue on. Now, images are really, really important. This is what I would suggest you do. Okay. For sports, I like action photos, but you need to do one thing at least. It needs to have something that's eye-catching. Now, what there's a couple ways to do this. You can go on a website like Pixlr. There's other ones where if you just type, you know, like just online, you know, photo editor or something like that. On Google, there's lots of free ones. But what you want to do is just make sure you make the picture bright without obscuring the image, okay? Or have something in there that's like eye candy. So I'm going to get rid of this. That's my cover photo for the page. And I'm just going to browse library because I have one that I can use already. Okay, this one seems to be working well. It's me just swinging a golf club, and it just says, you know, or it's 4 tips at 27 yards, but I have another one actually that is more appropriate, which is this one, like golf, like our page. And you'll see this is pretty funny with the copy. So, you know, like golf, like our page. Okay, easy enough, right? Doesn't matter, I'm a little obscured. It's kind of a small picture, but here's what you want to do. The headline doesn't seem to really show up here. This is what people are going to see. Okay, so I don't worry about the headline all that much. What I worry about is this part right here. Okay, so what you're going to want to do is I hope you're sitting down. This is the most ingenious copy of all time. Okay, it just goes like this. Whoops, sorry, that's weird. Sorry about that. It's a new computer, so I'm getting used to all the gadgets, but it's just if you love, and then I bold whatever here, you know, so in this case it's golf, or I make it all caps, then like our page. That is it. Now, the reason why I've used this on all my like campaigns is because it's a really simple ask, and you're not asking these people to do much at all, but what happens is when they click on this, they basically, you know, you're basically shaking their hand. And you're saying, hey, if you like golf, check us out. Now, you can do other things, like you could put, if you like golf, like our page, you can always say something like get free lessons or whatever it is that you can give out, you know, without, you know, hurting your sales or anything. Get free lessons and tips to play, your best this year. Okay? I mean, it could be anything that simple. Doesn't really matter. Okay, and then what you might want to do is this is timeline. You know, they have photos, reviews, likes. You know, I don't worry too much about that stuff, really. This is pretty simple deal. I don't worry about tracking conversions because you're not sending them anywhere. They're not going to your website, generally speaking, so you don't have to worry about that at all. So you just place order. And typically, you're going to have these. I mean, there's nothing threatening about this, so you should get them, you know, approved, just like that. Boom. So the best way to use this is to do the following. Okay, it's just to simply make it simple. Just just a simple copy formula where it says, if you love, like say you do fitness, you know, if you love working out, then like our page. And then you can always say something to back it up, like if you love working out, like our page, you know, get free, you know, health and fitness tips. You don't have to get super specific, okay? All the like campaigns that I've had that are successful were not super specific at all. There was nothing that was like going to screw you up, okay? Now, I just want to share something with you that's going to be in the next part, and I just want you to do, I'm not going to go into it today because I do want you to just focus on you know, the first part first, okay? So I have this page called Complete Baseball, all right? And it basically, it doesn't show, I just published this page. Okay, let me just refresh this so I could just show you. See if it has some of my old posts on here. Yeah, it did. Okay, cool. So what you're going to do is at some point you're going to run a post like this. It just, you know, it's going to have a headline, discover how 5 magic moves, blah, 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 and, you know, it goes on, and then basically what we do is you send them to a landing page, and what happens is if you see, you know, we just did a small test, but you'll notice, see these likes here? What that does is it does a couple things. First of all, it looks more credible in front of the people who may not be familiar with you, and the people may not be totally engaged with you. It does look more credible. The second thing it does is it makes your post cheaper, and I'll show you a picture here in a second of one I did you know, recently, or you know, when I was running these campaigns. And the other thing is if you view results, just give that a second. It's taking a while, so it's okay. I'll just show you a picture. Here's a picture of one I did. So what you see is, you know, we got 1,557 people to engage for only 4 cents a pop, but this one generated 2,200 clicks. Okay, so it got this company, Anderson Bat, basically about 774 leads. you know, for $60. And that's how you build a list really quick. And I will show you the art and science of that in the next video. But just for now, start a like campaign, $5 a day or whatever the corresponding amount is in your country, and just let it run for a couple days. And if it's really working and you want to scale it up, as I mentioned, what you want to do is this. Either duplicate the like ad or just add 50% to it. So if you do $5, $7.50. If you do $10, $15, etc. All right, that's all I got. Keep an eye out for the next video, and I appreciate you guys a ton. All right.